The King and Queen have visited the Chelsea Flower Show, meeting some of the designers taking part. Their own garden at Highgrove is exhibiting for the first time, as Daniela Ralph reports.
A first visit to the most famous of flower shows in his new role as patron of the Royal Horticultural Society. The King, the keenest of gardeners himself, will cast an expert eye over this year's crop of show gardens and exhibits. What he'll see this evening is a focus on the next generation of gardeners. For the first time, children will be judges at Chelsea, 72 in all, selecting the Children's Choice Garden.
We're going around gardens and judging them to see if we like them or not, and the meanings behind it and stuff.
To be honest, the best garden so far has been this one. It's it has everything a really good garden needs: a place to feel calm, and a place that really think.
The power of gardening to transform lives also features. Nettie served 5 years in prison, where she did a horticultural qualification. On release, it gave her a job offering training and support to women prisoners. This year, the Glass House is exhibiting at Chelsea.
Knowing that, there's more adventures for me with these plants, knowing that people respect me now, knowing that people believe in me, is just amazing.
As ever, there is a certain glamour to the opening day of the flower show, with celebrities sharing their gardening triumphs and disasters.
Well, not my wisteria, 7 years in and there's still no flowers, so I'm hoping to get some tips today on how to get those flowers to bloom.
I've just been updating my vegetable patch. I'm now tackling cucumbers, courgettes. I've also got tomatoes in and lettuces, and I've always been scared of lettuces because of the slugs. So I think it's going to be a busy year with going out after dark trying to pick them off.
I have to say it's coming from the wilderness, which is my garden, into thought out, careful, beautifully planned, colourful. My garden I love with all my heart, but it had to get away from me this year because I've been away so much.
A new addition that will please the King this year is a Green Medal for Sustainability, a reward for gardens judged to have the lowest carbon footprint. Well, the King and the Queen have spent around an hour on site here, touring some of the gardens, getting a flavour of what is on offer this year. And after a warm and a wet winter, what they have seen is a wilder, more natural-looking flower show. And over the past couple of days, the very best in show has also been selected, and the winners of those sought-after Chelsea medals will be announced tomorrow. Clive.
A prominent church on Piccadilly has had a garden designed for it here at the Chelsea Flower Show, amplifying its incredible work in the community, especially around counselling. And soon we'll all be able to enjoy its beauty and serenity.
Now, as we've been hearing, it's that time of the year again when the Chelsea Flower Show is in full bloom and opening to the public tomorrow. Yes, there are spectacular gardens on display as usual, and some of them have taken inspiration from London's landmarks, as well as helping to highlight the work community groups do for others in our city, as Wendy Hurrell explains.
Besides being a spectacle of the most beautiful plants and some of the country's best landscape design, a garden at Chelsea Flower Show can help raise the profile of charities or community organisations in our city. This one highlights the work of a prominent church on Piccadilly, designed by the St Paul's Cathedral architect Sir Christopher Wren.
This is the St James's Piccadilly Garden, and first and foremost we wanted to really evoke the character and the atmosphere of the gardens at St James's. Quite an ambitious build. 11,000 bricks have gone into building this in just under 2 weeks to create the sort of context and the backdrop to the garden. And the public can stand behind the window and see into the garden. We can see out in the same way as at St James's. The church is connected to its community through those clear glass windows.
The show garden is helping towards a £20 million restoration of St James's Church.
In the garden we had some of our pioneer plants that grew out of the aftermath of when the church was bombed in World War II, and that is speaking to our past, but it's also speaking to our future. How will we relate to a world that's changing before our very eyes, and what's the role of the church in that, in bringing people together, in talking about community across difference? We want to celebrate the diversity of the plants, but also the diversity of people.
After the show, the plants will be relocated to Piccadilly and their partner church, St Pancras Euston, creating pocket parks in otherwise hectic parts of London.
The whole purpose of us doing this really is to envision a different future. That's in fact the title of the garden, is Imagine the World to be Different. It invites people into a space to understand their world, understand who they are, allow people to be at peace with themselves.
For 4 decades, the church has offered a drop-in counselling service every day of the year. After Chelsea Flower Show, there will be this new cabin for those sessions.
Today's kind of my first chance to sit here and really be here, and you know, the idea that this will just be moved into the garden there is fantastic, and I think it's going to be a lovely space. It's got a kind of, you know, this round, almost holding, containing. As one of the people who dropped in said, it's like a big hug, so I quite like that, yeah.
Drought-resistant trees, resilient wildflowers to improve biodiversity, and a calm, reflective space will mean St James's can continue to be a refuge at the heart of central London. Wendy Hurrell, BBC London.
A visual treat, and the sun was shining for Chelsea.